Welcome along to this deep dive. Today, we're digging into just one source. It's a video, number 926, where someone's really thinking about personal growth.
Yeah.
What actually works.
Yeah, and it tackles a really interesting question, doesn't it? Something we probably all wonder about. How do we really learn? How do we actually change?
Exactly. Because the puzzle he sort of presents is, why does doing something, creating something, often seem so much more powerful, more transformative than just, say, reading about it or consuming information?
It's that classic passive versus active thing. And he uses two really great examples from his own experience to illustrate this. One's about writing,
Right.
and the other is about playing music. Completely different fields, but the same core idea comes through.
Okay, so that's our mission for this deep dive then. Let's unpack what he shared in this source. We want to get under the hood of why doing works, according to him, what the principles are.
And importantly, how you listening might be able to use these ideas in whatever area you're trying to make progress in.
Sounds good. Let's get into it.
Okay, so he starts off by mentioning a quote. It's from Daniel Priestley.
Oh yeah, what's the quote?
It's, "The book that changes your life is not the one you read, it's the one you write."
Huh. Okay. That's a strong statement.
It is. And the speaker in our source, he admits, when he first heard it, it sounded kind of neat, clever.
Like a good soundbite.
Exactly. But he didn't really get it. Not deep down.
Yeah.
Not at first.
So what changed? How did he come to understand it?
Well, it was when he actually started trying to write his own book.
Mm-hmm.
That's when the light bulb went on.
The doing part.
Precisely. And interestingly, he says he didn't even have to finish the whole thing. He found this big insight just working on the introduction.
Just the intro. Wow. So what was it about writing that intro that was so powerful?
He describes it as this process that just forced him to think really, really deeply. It wasn't just about getting words out.
Okay.
He had to constantly stop and ask himself things like, okay, hold on, what am I actually trying to say here? Really fundamental questions.
Right. Getting beyond the surface level.
Yeah. And then there's the whole refining process, too, asking, does this make sense? Is it clear enough? Is it concise? Is it interesting? Is the message I think I'm sending actually getting across?
That sounds like hard work.
Oh, he says it was. He calls it frustrating, difficult. It took real mental effort.
But the payoff was?
The payoff, and this is the crucial bit he emphasizes, was that this tough, active process of wrestling his thoughts onto the page, shaping them, clarifying them, that started to change him.
How so?
It helped him solidify what he actually thought. It wasn't just vague ideas floating around anymore.
Yeah.
Through the struggle of writing it down, he could say, okay, that is what I think, that is what I believe.
I see. So it's the difference between receiving information and actually forging your own understanding through creation.
Exactly. Reading is great, you get new ideas. But according to this source, the act of writing, of creating, forces a different level of engagement. It forces you to integrate the ideas, to own them. That's where the deeper learning and the personal shift happened for him.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense through the writing example. What was the other one? Music, you said.
Yeah, music. He talks about these Friday afternoon sessions he has with a friend, Terrence.
Sounds like a nice ritual.
It does. They get together, have lunch, coffee, and then play blues.
Mm-hmm.
He mentions Terrence is a phenomenal blues harp player and has written some great songs.
It's just jamming.
Sometimes it's just jamming, and he says sometimes it's super cool and flows easily. But other times...
Here it comes.
Yeah, other times it's hard yards. It requires that push, that effort, just like the writing.
Okay, so where's the parallel insight?
Well, he describes this specific moment, a kind of breakthrough. They were playing one of Terrence's tunes, and instead of just playing along, he decided to really focus, to try and break down what Terrence was actually playing.
So not just the chords, but the specific.
The specific lines, the melodies, the little riffs Terrence was doing on the harp. He wanted to understand what was going on musically.
Getting into the details.
Exactly. He calls it getting in deep, getting into the weeds. He started actively trying to learn Terrence's lines, figure them out, play them himself.
And again, that sounds like it would take real concentration. More active than just strumming chords.
Totally. He said he had to really think, what notes is he playing? Why those notes? How do they fit against the chords?
Yeah.
That kind of intense focus.
And what happened? Did it work?
He says it absolutely did. He felt his mind and his playing just open up. He learned so much from that period of really digging in.
Wow. Any noticeable difference?
Yeah, he mentions his guitar playing actually changed, got better, and even Terrence noticed, apparently commenting positively on some of the lines he was playing and his overall sound improving.
So it's the same pattern again, moving from passive participation to active, focused engagement and analysis.
Right, and he makes the point that, just like with the writing, this deeper learning, this change, it wasn't instant. It took staying in it.
Staying in it.
Yeah, sticking with it for a considerable period of time. Consistent effort, digging deep, even when it's tough. That's where the real shifts happen, according to him.
Okay, so we've got these two clear examples. Writing the book intro, breaking down the blues lines. What are the common threads here? What are the core principles for growth that this source seems to be highlighting?
Well, looking across both stories, two big things really jump out. The first one is definitely consistency and routine.
Right. Not just trying something once or twice.
No, it's about just doing things over and over again on a consistent basis. That seems key.
Showing up, basically.
Showing up, exactly. He uses phrases like stay in it, stay doing the work, stay in the routine, stay in the practice, and crucially,
Even when it's hard.
especially when it's hard, even when it feels like those hard yards, or maybe when it doesn't quite make sense yet, or you're not seeing immediate results, you just have to keep showing up.
Because that's how the breakthroughs happen.
That's his argument. He suggests that it's through that consistent, persistent effort that the insight comes, the inspiration comes. Or in the music case, the cool sounds come. They emerge from the routine, not by waiting for a magic moment beforehand.
Okay, consistency is principle number one. What's the second?
The second big one is the environment you create for yourself.
Environment? Like your office space?
Well, yes, partly the physical environment. He mentions literally putting the seat of my pants on my seat in front of my computer. That physical act of showing up in the space dedicated to the work.
But there's more to it.
Oh, yeah. He puts a huge emphasis on the relational environment, the people you surround yourself with.
Ah, the support network idea.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He says, get around some people who can encourage you. And he's quite specific about what kind of people.
What does he say?
People who know you, support you, love you, want to see you succeed. It's that deep level of supportive relationship.
That makes sense. Positive encouragement.
Yes, but it's not just about gentle encouragement. He also says these are people who are going to kick you in the seat of the pants when you need it.
Ah, so accountability too. Tough love sometimes.
Seems like it.
Oh,
People who hold you to your potential. And here's a really powerful point he makes about belief.
belief.
Yeah, he says these people should believe in you as much as you believe in yourself.
Mm-hmm.
But then he adds something really profound.
Go on.
He says, especially when you don't believe in yourself, when your own confidence is low, you need people around you who believe in you so much that you can actually trade on their belief in you.
Wow. Trade on their belief, like
Yeah.
borrowing their confidence.
Kind of like drawing strength from their conviction in you when you can't find your own. It's like an external battery pack for your self-belief.
That's a really interesting concept. So find people who hold that belief for you when you're struggling.
That's the idea he puts forward. So you put these two together, the consistent routine, showing up even when it's hard.
Dopine combined with creating this supportive environment, both physical and, crucially, relational, having those believers around you.
And that, according to the source, is what really does change your life. That's the combination that fosters progress, growth, and those moments where things just click and open up.
Okay. So bringing this back to you, the listener, it's worth reflecting maybe.
Absolutely. Ask yourself, where are you maybe just consuming information passively? Where could you shift into doing, into creating, even if it's just starting small, like that book intro?
And how's your consistency?
Yeah.
Are you really staying in it, showing up for the practice, especially during those hard yards? Or do you tend to back off when things get tough?
And then take a hard look at your environment. Physically, are you setting yourself up to do the work? And relationally, who's in your corner? Do you have those people who truly support you, challenge you, and importantly, believe in you?
Do they hold that belief for you, especially when you might be doubting yourself?
Yeah. Those are the questions this source really pushes us to consider.
Okay, so let's just quickly recap the main takeaways from this deep dive into Source 926. The big message seems to be the incredible power of doing and creating, rather than just passively consuming.
Definitely. And that this active engagement, especially when done with consistency and routine, sticking with it through the difficult parts,
Yeah.
is really the engine of learning and change.
And layered on top of that is the vital importance of your environment, particularly surrounding yourself with people who genuinely support you, know you, and believe in your potential, sometimes even more than you do yourself.
Mm-hmm. that supportive network.
Which leads us to maybe the final, most provocative thought from this source to leave you with. Consider this idea seriously. What if, when your own belief falters, you could genuinely lean on, draw strength from, and effectively trade on the unwavering belief that others hold for you? What might you attempt? What could you achieve if you knew you had access to that external well of belief? Something to think about.